Yeah.
What is Patagonia? The original story is that in 1957, the 18-year-old version of Yvon Chouidnard bought a 138-pound anvil, a used coal forge, and blacksmithing tools. Using an old harvesting blade and old-fashioned inspiration from a Swiss climber, teenage Yvon Chouidnard started a billion-dollar enterprise from the trunk of his car and the tin shed of his parents' backyard. Canned cat food was on Patagonia's early cafeteria menu. To the 1960s to the 2000s represent 40 years of growth in $1.50 to billion-dollar increments under the Patagonia brand year after year. During 2017 to 2018, their annual gross revenue growth curve stuck close to an astonishing 5% in a time where people were supposed to stay quarantined. Patagonia Works operates as an umbrella company, streamlining partnerships, HR, accounting, and legal services for its affiliates. To date, the Patagonia brand has contributed over $116 million in environmental aid to agencies around the world. Patagonia Works Annual Benefit Corporation Report 2021. A staggering 450 employees work daily to protect our planet, creating and supervising the execution of grants to the appropriate environmental agencies. They're on staff. They're their salary. That's their main job, right? Like QC that, right? Today, the Patagonia Incorporated offices resemble an environmentally friendly college dorm/recycling center, where the 2,700 employees all love nature and the range of healthy activities it houses. Good values, good principles in your company. Everybody's like, they love the same thing, right? Solar systems outline modern campus as wetsuits dry on the roofs of Patagonia staff cars. The Patagonia Works site is a 5-acre property a few minutes from the surf. If you can spot an employee at Patagonia who doesn't like getting outdoors, congratulations, you found a unicorn. Patagonia has hundreds of stores in 10+ countries across 5 continents, as well as factories in 16 countries. Every facility centers around environmentally sound practices in 6 critical human impact categories: gear, apparel, food, water, energy, and waste. All leaders and CEOs of Patagonia have spent considerable amounts of time in the great outdoors over the last 70 years. For the current CEO of Patagonia Works, Ryan Geller, mountain climbing has defined pretty much everything about my life for the past 25 years. Quote, through interlacing die-hard environmental virtues, Yvon Chouidnard built $1 billion empire, a $1 billion empire, as one of the best examples to see how to build an internationally renowned brand around a lifestyle you love. Now, it's just going to be like quick presentation because it's like 3,000 words, you know. Reading aloud and listening is slower than reading, actually, right? Our eyes do it faster, right? So now I'm just going through bullet points. It's that you have the introduction of what Patagonia is from those paragraphs. And then you have here, they're special because everyone's super independent. And some psychologists said they're so independent, they can't work anywhere else. Awesome, right? Okay, for the last 40 years, they have in-house daycare, right? Part of the budget, okay? And so 70% of the staff are women, and this guy only trusts women to handle HR decisions. Only, right? 100%. So it's really, really crazy. I put it in there in 2 paragraphs. It's really important, actually, you know? Find a need and fill it. This is the original story. When he was a kid, there was a club. The club, they trained people for hawks and falcons. And then after that, he started climbing to find where all the birds were. At that time, everybody was using this soft iron thing that you put into the rock and then connect your rope to it. It was called a piton, and it was made of soft iron. And so what he did was he made a reusable one with hard iron. Oh, just like that, right? So it's like you don't have to carry a lot. You can take it with you and you can reuse it. Boom. Immediate business opportunity. He could make 2 per hour and he could sell them for $1.50 each. So that was $3 about 60 years ago, 70 years ago. That's about 1,000 baht today, right? So he made a 1,000 baht per hour job for himself right at the beginning, 18 years old. Recently, more than 9,000 applicants sought 16 coveted internships at Patagonia offices in 2019. 16 spots, 9,000 applicants. That's a lot, right? So it goes through all of this stuff where, you know, these athletes, these sports people, you know, like when you think about surfing and mountain climbing, everything actually is kind of about one moment, really, you know, the moment you get onto the wave and then you ride, right? And then that's a different time frame. For mountain climbing, it's that the moment that you get onto the mountain, right, onto the top, or you get to where you're going, right, or you feel what you want, right? So it's that when you look at work like this, it's that it's not all about just the one moment. There's like so much that leads to it. You know, it's your nutrition, it's your training, it's your experience, it's your gear, it's everything, right? And then that's the mentality, that's the culture at this company, which is pretty cool, right? Like most people are like that, right? Let's say this is what he looks like midlife, you know. I like the mustache, right? The mustache is cool. The next category here is trusting the right people, right? And the way that it's relevant for us is going to be, it's trusting the right people and who we work with as well. And I'll keep it surface here because I'm recording. And it's that this lady here, Rose Marcario, she was CEO for 12 years and she quadrupled their revenue. Quadrupled, okay? 4x, right? In her time as leader. She's also the leader that gave the most to all of the small groups protecting the environment. You know, the small groups protecting the environment, grassroots here, it's like, let's say one of your colleagues from school, let's say that her job is working in Khao Yai and she's working on protecting this one species of bird, you know, and she needs money to do that every year, right? That's the kind of stuff that she was donating to, which is so cool, right? Like that's, and then there's like 450 staff that QC that, you know, every year, right? That's their full-time job every day, right? And 70% of them might be women, right? Which is also very cool. I wanted to put something else inside of here, but I will show you here again. L'Oreal ad. I've shown you this before and I'll show you again. It's all part of confidence, okay? It is real. Like I made the joke before where I think women are going to take over the world, right? But it's like, I think it's already true really, but we just don't know yet. And I feel mostly okay with it because I'll have my independence as well, you know, but then mostly women working in organizations and systems. Some of the data shows that it works, right? This is very fancy, but it's real. Yes. And then we have here a story. There's a journalist and he's interviewing the CEO. They're like, she's the CEO of a giant retail brand. Okay. There are 2 small holes in the chest of my black fleece, as if a vampire took a nip. But Rose Marcario, the CEO of Patagonia, does not think I need a new one. The outdoor apparel retailer would make more money if Marcario pushed one of the supple pink and purple pullovers on sale for $119 in Patagonia's store downstairs. Instead, she suggests a different idea. You can just patch it, she says. Sitting near an open window at Patagonia's Camp Lake Ventura, California headquarters, wearing brown Buddhist prayer beads on her wrist. It's an odd statement for the head of a retail company, but she shrugs and says, I'm not really a buyer of things. Other stuff I had to cut from this article was going to be that it's that a lot of the leadership, a lot of the employees, they look at consumerism like this. you know. So one issue in our life, right, is going to be that our generation and generations past, we have been quote unquote brainwashed into thinking we need all kinds of things and products and services to survive and be good, right? Like thinking we need it, right, which is really different than like business and offering it, luxury services, whatever. But uh, so these people, you know, they have very strong principles, and we go back to the three, right, where it's going to be number one is that you got to create opportunity with what you make and do, right? Number two is that you have to have right people, and then number three is that you have really legendary principles, you know, and then this is a good example of that. Right. That's what I'm trying to piece together for a 15-year-old that doesn't understand yet. Okay. All right. Like, it's like, you know it and recognize it, you know? But a lot of people, they don't really know yet, I think. Yeah. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. I'm losing you. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Welcome
Hello.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It happens. Internet happens. Okay, we're lagging a little bit. I'll check my side. Okay, we're good. Testing 1 2. Welcome back.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
okay. I hear you.
cool. In closing here, we have Jenna Johnson and Brian Geller. We have Rose Marcario. Those are the three people. And I just want to present to you here, it's that this guy's the same thing, right? And then it's where the company has been donating 1% per year for all since like 1983, 1% of total revenue or 10% of net profit. 10% of net profit, whichever one is more. And just one side point here is that their revenue is insane. Their revenue is very high. Oh, I feel like we're lagging a lot. Okay, all right. So let me see here. I want to go with the closing here. Two things in closing, right? Number one here is that Black Friday is a very popular shopping event in America. It's become international. It's the time where companies, they unload their stock for a cheaper price and they get ready for the holiday season. In 2016 Black Friday, one small junior employee, aspiring intern maybe, he said, hey, let's donate all of our profits. In a few days, it changed to all revenue was donated for that one day. They posted it on social media. They generated $10 million in revenue. They donated it all, and it was 60% new customers.
Yeah.
Yep. And one small point here is going to be Agoda calculates something called LTV, which is lifetime value. They start calculating how long and how much will a customer spend in their lifetime. And if you look at 60% of all those new buyers and calculate LTV based on a lot of different information, it's going to be well over $10 million, well over. So in closing, it's that he wrote this really amazing letter that shows the vision. And it's this, the audience. Remember the audience, right? Remember what we're trying to do with our first segment, okay? Believing in ourselves and kind of being confident and like knowing what's up with the framework. Authors know. Now, the way to $1 billion company is not an easy one. However, one must always begin any long-term project with a framework. To create an organization that stands the test of time and change, one must represent their own variation of the core principles that make it function. Surround yourself with people who believe and act on the same values. Guided by what you believe collaboratively, the products and services you create will have new value for every generation of people. Business and industry will live on forever, but it can't continue without people. That was the author's note after all of that. And then we go back to bump, bump, this guy's face. Cool dude. Yeah, I like this one right here because what I see when this guy is looking down after what he did is clarity. right? Like I can say all kinds of words, all things to describe, well, many things, but that's clarity right there. Even if it, like, you can see it, it's really crazy. It's a tiny picture, yeah, but we'll zoom in a little bit. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's clarity right there. Okay, Cap, have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you.
Bye. See you.